I built a machine that finds local business owners, write them real emails and follow-ups on its own. And here's the crazy part. I don't know how to write a single line of code. I just told Claude what I wanted and it built the entire thing. It took me about 12 days to run it properly, but honestly, it should have taken just a weekend. So I'll be showing you every single mistake that cost me the extra days. This is also the same thing that a lead gen agency would charge at least $5,000 a month. Mine runs at around $200. So in this video, I'll be showing you exactly how I built it, step by step, so you can build your own as well, even if you have not written a single line of code in your life. And I'll also be showing you the common mistakes that cost you time and money, the ones that I haven't seen anyone talk about before. First, what it is. This is an AI cold email system. So every day it finds local business owners, checks their emails are real, and it writes to them in my voice. And the best thing is it follows up on its own with my hand on the wheel. This is not a demo that I've set up for this video. It's live right now. So it sends about 100 emails a day for me. Let me show you how it's built and how it runs. So before I build anything, here is the whole thing on one screen. So you can see where each piece actually fits. And it's really just 5 moving parts. 1, it finds business owners. 2, it checks their emails are real. 3, it writes to them in my voice. 4, it sends slowly and follow-ups for 10 days. Then 5, it keeps score and does more of what's working. That's the entire machine. Find, check, write, send, and learn. Everything I built in the next 10 minutes is just one of these 5 boxes. So I want you to keep this picture in your head so you'll never get lost. And one thing I want to do before the build, this is very important, it is to do the math. And this is the part where most people skip. I wanted 1 new client a week, so I worked backwards. That's about 10 calls a week, which is about 500 emails a week. So divided by 5 days, it's about 100 email a day. And 100 email a day needs around 8 to 10 inboxes. Here's the rule of thumb that you can steal for your own business. About 1 in 10 sales call will turn into a client, and about 1 in 50 cold emails turns into a call. So every client you want costs you roughly 500 emails. So if you want 1 a week, that's about 500 emails a week. 1, 2, just double it and your real number will land somewhere different. Start here and adjust as the replies come in. So why does this part matter? Because the number will tell you what to build. Skip it and you'll either build too small and starve, or you'll build too big and get burnt out. So 10 minutes with this calculator saved me from both. I will be putting this calculator in a link below, so feel free to check it out. And one more thing before we start building, because this is the real reason why most people quit. The people who say cold email doesn't work, they sent maybe 50 to 100 emails, heard nothing back, and give up. That's it. Commit to at least 100 emails a day for 100 days. And I promise you, your results will show up. The same thing happened to me with content. The first month, I thought, this doesn't work. I had a mentor back then who ran the same exact system that I use now. So I complained it to him and I said that, content isn't for everyone. This doesn't work. So he asked me what my test bed was. I said around 25 videos over 2 months. He laughed and he said, no wonder it didn't work. We post 100 videos a month minimum, and it was only month 3 or 4 before we saw real traction and growth. So hear me on this. Whatever you're doing, it probably works. It's just that you're playing it a little bit too small. Now let's start building. This is my biggest mistake and the one that cost me the most, the inboxes. So basically, I told Claude what I wanted, a system that sends about 100 cold emails a day. I gave it access to my computer and built the entire thing in my browser. This takes about 3 to 4 weeks, remember. Basically, I bought the domains and Claude set up the security records that tell Google that these are real, and made 10 mailboxes across 5 domains. So for privacy's sake, these emails, the actual emails are hidden, but I did not use any developer. I just described what I wanted and have Claude run it for me. Now, here is one thing that matters a lot. I did not use my actual business domain. So the ones I actually get clients from, I did not use them. I bought separate ones. Little cousins of my main name, like try leverage method or use leverage method. And here's why. Because if you were to send cold email from your main domain and it gets flagged as spam, you just poison your entire email from your main domain. Your client replies, your invoices, all of it starts landing in spam. So you never want to touch it. Send cold email only from the cousins. So if one gets burned, you just spin up another one, thereby keeping your email reputation clean. Here is the thing that will probably cost you the most time in this install. Brand new email domains will not be able to send real volume right away. You need to warm them up slowly, about 3 to 4 weeks, or everything you send is going to land in spam. I didn't set mine up early enough, so when I was building, I was ready to send, but my inbox was still really new. So here's the shortcut. Before you are ready to sit down and build this on your own, buy and warm your inboxes immediately. That would be day one. Before anything else, warm them up. The tool that I use is called Smartlead. Basically, you plug your inbox in, turn it on, and it handles it on its own in the background. What it does is it sends little test emails back and forth every day and slowly builds the volume up bit by bit. Once the setup is done, I also use Smartlead to send the real cold outreach emails for business owners, and basically most of these emails never go to spam. So remember, before you are even ready to build, warm your emails up. Step 2, the leads. So before you pull any leads or decide who you're even after, I would suggest you going to look for your ideal customer. So for mine, I told Claude that I wanted my ideal customers. They are service business owners, and we work backwards together. Who has the real money coming in, who always need more jobs, and who is easy to reach by email. And we landed on one type to start, HVAC owners, the heating and cooling guys, because they are usually small to medium business. They do not have a real marketing team behind them, and they probably need a steady flow of new clients. Plus, they are usually sitting on a pile of past customers that they have forgotten to follow up with or didn't even know that they should follow up with. So now, I need a list of them. I used a tool called Origami to find them, point it to city, and post the shop and owner's names and their details. So in a few minutes, you get a full list. And a quick money tip, because this part can get really expensive. I tested the popular tools everyone pushes for this, like Clay. They are really good and powerful, but the bill climbs up fast once you start doing real volume. This setup, Origami to find them, plus a cheap tracker, which is Hunter, cost me a tiny fraction of that. So that's the one that I'll point you to. Now, my second big mistake was I got excited and I sent before I checked. The emails were real, and I had a day where one in every 10 bounced. And that doesn't just lose you those emails. The bounce hurts your whole account, and your good emails start landing in spam. So one lazy day set me back days. Now here is the rule that I now never break. Every single email gets checked before it goes out. Claude wrote a little script that runs each one through a tracker called Hunter. Green, it's real, so it goes in. Red, it's bad, it's dead, it's gone. So every batch, there is no exception. And this is the biggest trap that I want to save you from. Don't guess emails. I've tried having it guess owner addresses from a patent first name at company. It was wrong 7 times out of 9. Wasted money, would have bounced. And so I want you to make sure that you only send to a real checked address. Guessing feels like a shortcut, but long term it's going to ruin your email reputation. Step number 3, what the emails actually say. This is where the money is at. 4 short emails over the span of 10 days. Not about me, but about their money. So this is the part where I test consistently. The first brings back their old customers, the people who have already paid them once and got forgotten. The second is about speed, about the first to answer. Then the third one points to their leaks. And the last one is a simple goodbye that, funny enough, pulls in the most reply. Now, this is the most important part. And this is where all the money sits on. You don't write 4 emails and let them run forever. You test them, and here is my rule. I run 1 4 email sequence to at least 100 people. So that is my test bed. that would mean I'm sending out 400 emails. Then I would watch how it converts. Then I would then write a completely different 4 email sequence and test that one too. And I just keep going until one clearly beats the rest. That becomes my wheel. I would then lean into it and keep testing new ones against it. Because here is something that nobody will tell you. People think you set this up once and walk away. But if the sequence is bad, it doesn't matter how good the machine is. A bad message just fails quietly. The machine finds the people. The message is what turns them into money. So this is where the real work leaves. My mistake here was trusting AI to make too many calls on its own. I let it pick who to target on the fly, and it made really weak choices. Small list, but bad fits. So the fix is really simple. Give it the content upfront. Who you help, how, and what a good customer looks like to you. Do it once at the start, and then every email after it will be sharp. Step 4, wire it all together and turn it on. This is where I actually lost most days. Not to big obvious failures, but to really small quiet ones. Because here's the thing that nobody warns you about these AI systems. They don't crash. They don't flash a huge error message. They just quietly stop doing part of the job. And everything on the screen probably still looks fine, but it's slowly, quietly crashing. Let me give you one. For a few days, I was sure my new emails were going out. They were, but they weren't going out at the pace that I wanted. So you can see that it's a lot lower than the average. The dashboard kind of looked normal, but it was sending a lot lesser. I only caught it when I pulled the real numbers and thought, wait, why isn't this sending at scale that I wanted? So this was just one tiny fix, right? Once I found them. But finding them was the whole battle. And you only get to see them by looking at the real numbers, not letting it run on its own. That right there is the whole reason I keep my hand on the wheel. So anyone who tells you that you can build this once and walk away forever is probably lying to you. This is a machine, not a crock pot. It runs on its own, but you do need to check the gauges. So that's the difference between a system that you own and a black box that you rent. So this all took 12 days for me, but probably you'll be able to do it in a weekend. Friday night, buy your domains and switch on the warm-ups. Then walk away and let them age. Then when you are ready to build, start scraping your city, check every single email, write your 4 email sequence. Then wire it into the sender. That's the 2 settings that I got wrong and turn it on. That's it. The 12 days was me learning it the hard way. You just learn it in 15 minutes. It's running quietly for me in the background now, so I'll be showing you the real numbers as they come in. Good or bad, that's the deal. Follow along and stay tuned for the update. One last thing, I actually wrote down every single step of this down for you. The tools, the exact settings I got wrong, all the mistakes to skip, all of it. It's in one single playbook. I call it the Weekend Cold Email Playbook. So there's no catch. It's completely free. The link is in the description below. Go build it this weekend. That's it. I'll keep building in the open. Remember to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.